Do you know that even in the deepest dungeon of the Edinburgh castle you can sometimes still hear an endless ancient dirge played by a lone bagpipe? Hi, I'm Lawrence and I'm here to tell you many stories around the world from my human point of view. Before starting, help me to grow this project, snap me a like and subscribe. Okay, back to us. Today, as you can see, I was wandering around Edinburgh and like a creative gleeman, I was looking for stories. In particular, the first stop could only be its beautiful castle. I was really excited, so after cursed my phone line like a witch to take the ticket on the website, I really recommended you get one when planning your trip, not when you are about to enter like I did. I reached the imposing gatehouse. Edinburgh Castle was built from the 11th century to the 21st century. It stands on Castle Rock, a volcanic plug in the middle of the city, which has been occupied by humans since at least the Iron Age. Is definitely one of the most important strongholds in the Kingdom of Scotland and was involved in many historical conflicts from the Wars of Scottish Independence in the 14th century to the Jacobite Rising of 1745. Research undertaken in 2014 identifies 26 sieges in its 1100-year history, giving it a claim to having been the most besieged place in the Great Britain and one of the most attacked in the world. That's really impressive. I was fascinated from these strong and insurmountable walls, so I was looking around when suddenly I heard a distant and weak sound of a bagpipe, like an ancient dirge. But there weren't pipes there. What was happening to me? I was scared, I don't know, I was desperate, so I asked a girl named Janet who was wearing a perfect historical costume, and she kindly explained. Many years ago, in Edinburgh, lived a red-haired boy with a great passion for bagpipes. Within a few years he became one of the most talented bagpipers of all time, so the king one day invited him to play his great music at the castle. The child was really happy and he played his best songs for the entire court. For some time he lived there, but one day a man discovered a network of tunnels running under the castle. The main tunnel appeared to proceed along the Royal Mile to the palace of Holyrood House, but it wasn't large, and they wanted to understand exactly what was its path. So after thinking about it for a while, they came up with the solution. They sent the young piper boy. The story had a sad end. The boy reached the center of the Royal Mile, then suddenly disappeared, apparently never to be found again, so since then he's been wandering around underground depths, and sometimes if you happen to walk the Royal Mile you can hear his never-ending ancient dirge played in despair. Lady Janet told me many other stories about the castle, one about the appearance of a headless boy with the drum, one about the ghosts of many prisoners of the stronghold, and think also that in 1558 several people reported seeing a dragon on top of St. David's Tower. That's crazy! She was really nice. We walked for a while looking at this amazing castle when suddenly she disappeared. Oh no! Again! Oh! After some research I found her in the Ancient Chronicles. Janet Douglas, the ghost of the Grey Lady who was falsely accused by trying to poison the king, at the time James V. Damn, every time the same story! Oh! But the Grey Lady… Does it remind you of anything? This is of course just a story, however the castle was really beautiful and walking around I really felt the vibe of this place, the sensation of being the presence of a silent guardian scanning the horizon of this fairy tale land ready to fight even a dragon. And so a light of awareness hit my brain. The guardian taught me an important lesson that sometimes a dragon is easier to fight than a never-ending ancient dirge. And here we are! Thank you very much guys for reaching the end card! Yes, you are amazing! I'm so happy we started with Scotland today, yes! I have many other stories to tell you about anything you have in mind, I don't know, monsters, ghosts, lakes, castles, kings, everything you have in mind, yeah. However, I hope you enjoyed the spooky stories I found on Edinburgh Castle. It is a truly magical place, I think. So, see you next week with another amazing video, and as I always said, cheers!